I have trouble wrapping my head around the idea of space-time. And I understand that gravity can also distort space-time. It can change the shape of space and time. And I believe I've heard people talking about it's like there's a rubber sheet, and that's space-time. And then you put a marble in it, and that kind of pulls down the rubber sheet a little bit, and that's kind of gravity distorting space-time. And it's not exactly the same, but it's a way of using something that I can understand to understand the bigger concept. And that's kind of like what a parable does. A parable takes God and what God would like and the kingdom of God, which are big concepts, hard to wrap our heads around, and says, well, it's like this. It's like a farmer goes out and sows some seeds, and then some enemies come along and put in some weed seeds. And what's the farmer going to do? It doesn't tell the whole story about God, but it tells something. And it tells it in a way that we can understand it. Now, one needs to be careful with comparisons. For example, I could say someone is just as lovely as a chocolate cake. And I love chocolate cake, so for me that makes perfect sense. But I have met people who say chocolate cake, that's not for me. So if I use that comparison with them, then it's getting a totally different idea in their head than what I'm intending. Similarly, we talk about God being like a mustard seed, or the kingdom of God being like a mustard seed, which is great if you know what a mustard seed looks like, or what a mustard plant is going to grow into. But not everybody has that knowledge. So that comparison may or may not be helpful for someone to try to understand it. So parables are ways of wrapping our heads around really big ideas. Just have to be careful because they don't always mean the same thing to everybody around us.